I love me some Lonnie water, man.
I was trying to come up with something real nice and witty off the top, and I got nothing. I got nothing.
That's what happens. That's what happens when we take off a week.
When you take 2 weeks without a show, you gotta kind of fall back into the feeling of things. You know what I mean? The groove. You kind of fall out of the groove. You got to get back into the groove. You fall out of the groove. You got to get back into the groove. Let's see how many people are going to get into the groove tonight. We got 6 people on, Joe. One's me, one's probably you, and one's probably my wife. Is your wife on right now? What's up, Brett? One is Brett's Grasscapades. One is John. One is Ken. What is up, y'all? Thank you for letting us know you're out there in the chat. Hey, thanks, Ken. We hope y'all had a great 4th of July as well. Yeah, it is time to get groovy. Joe, did you do anything special for the 4th of July? If you did something special for the 4th, leave us a chat. Let us know what you did.
Yeah, let us know. My town, we always have a parade. So yeah, our town is one of the biggest parades in South Jersey. And our fireworks display is like one of the biggest in South Jersey as well. It's literally like 30 minutes long. It's crazy. It's a lot of taxpayer dollars, I should say.
So do y'all
get our money's worth?
Do you have much in the way of neighborhood fireworks? Is that allowed?
So you're not technically allowed to shoot any off that go in the air in Jersey, but everyone buys them in Pennsylvania or in Philly and just brings them over. So, actually neighbors behind us, I thought literally we were getting bombed.
I found a mortar in my backyard.
I ran in the house and I'm like, what's going on? It wasn't on the 4th of July. It was like a couple days before. I think it was like that Saturday before. And I'm like, what's going on? It was nuts. It was echoing off like the houses. The windows. You could feel on the.
It's a vibration, right?
Yeah, it was really crazy.
So,
but we have a really big parade. We have like a couple different marching bands. We have, we have big like the police, the firefighters, you name it. We have the Eagles, the pep band that sing the fight song.
Oh, nice.
They're local they live local in our area, so they're in the parade. So they're like singing the fight song, and everyone's singing it, along the parade route. So it's a lot of fun. They throw out candy to the kids, all the people that are in the parade, like different businesses and stuff. So
yeah, candy to the kids for you to get your sweet tooth fixed, right?
They got that the bubble.
Let me go through all this for you. One for me, one for me, one for you. Is that how it works? You get 2 for every one they get?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the way it works. Hey, looks like some folks had some good 4th of July holiday.
What about you? You're the grill master.
The
griddle man.
I had my in-laws in town. We had new sod on the ground. I spent most of my 4th of July week just making sure that with the extreme heat we had, that I didn't lose the fresh sod that had just been laid. But the Saturday before 4th of July, we had a big block party at our neighborhood pool. That was awesome. They do a really great fireworks show, hot dogs, the whole shebang. I mean, I've got a picture of my little girl. It reminds me of the kids in Sandlot looking up at the fireworks when they're out at that nighttime 4th of July baseball game. So we did that before. It felt like the 4th of July this year literally was like with it being on a Tuesday. We started on a Saturday, and then there was a little bit of something on Sunday and Monday and then Tuesday. It really almost kind of drug out too long this year. And then people in my neighborhood were shooting fireworks like crazy, days leading up to and even days after. So with our house up on a hill, we get really good views of all the fireworks. But my wife and I also volunteered with her in-laws in town to close down our community pool for the week. They were asking for people within the subdivision to step up and help close it down 1 week throughout the pool season. And we figured if we've got family in town to stay with the kids while they're in bed, we'll pick that week and go do it. So we did that.
I was
try to
fortunate.
help
My
out.
my my company closed down
Oh,
Monday
nice.
through Wednesday, so that was kind of nice.
Uh-oh, Joe. Joe, it's
Oh,
official, man. It is
we're back.
official. Show
We're
number
live. We're
20
hot.
is back. Well, 20's not back. We're just here for show number 20. Every Tuesday, we're here when we're here, and we're not when we're not. And we weren't here last week because it was the 4th of July. But we're back for Joe, the Budget Wooder Show. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central. Tuesday evenings. Man, we've passed we've passed the summer solstice. It's still light outside, but you can already kind of feel those days getting just a pinch shorter each one that goes by.
I love it.
I know you're
I
a fall man,
can't.
right?
Oh, I can't wait. I'm sick of this humidity and this heat.
What
And
are temperatures there right now?
it's actually, it's not so much the temp, like the high temps. It's, we're getting up to like, high 80s, like low 90s, but it's just that humidity.
So
You
what
wake up
are
in
your
the
dew
morning,
points at?
So
I had
you're asking the wrong man. I don't know, 60-70%, I think.
Well,
we're at.
okay, so I had this conversation with my wife, my
Actually,
mother-in-law,
I could look 'em.
while she was in town. So everybody, when they're trying to explain how humid it is, they always want to look at the humidity. I never look at the humidity, okay? Because the humidity is relative to what the dew point is in relation to your air temperature. So if your air temperature is 65 and your dew point is 58, your relative humidity is going to be pretty high. But if your dew point's 58, dew points in the 50s actually mean it's very comfortable. Dew points in the 60s, it starts getting a little bit humid feeling. And then once you get dew points in the 70s, that's when you're like wearing the air. It's super, super uncomfortable, really sticky. If it's hot, you'll see those really high heat indices. So if you're trying to decide whether or not it's humid out, just ignore the relative humidity. Just look at the dew point. What's your dew point
at? So today we're at 70%.
Is your 70% relative humidity? What about your dew point?
I don't know.
So your dew point is a measure of how much water's in the air. So the higher that is, it's going to feel a lot less comfortable.
All I know is I step outside, it's not comfortable.
That's what that's how you look at the weather, right? I step outside. Oh shoot, it's hot.
I step outside.
Yeah. What else? I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's really the way to do it. Hey, y'all, thanks for. Go ahead, Joe.
Just like we're trying, trying to figure out like the wind, you go like.
Oh yeah. Throw some grass up in the air, see which way it's blowing. Hey, thanks for coming back after a week off for 4th of July. Again, we hope y'all had a great 4th of July week. It kind of drug out for me. I don't know what it was like for you, but we're glad to have you back. And as we do every time we start the Budget Wooder Show, we start with a little fact from history. But before we get to that, Joe, what do people need to help us out, y'all? Give us a thumbs up. Okay. Come on, thumbs up the live stream. Leave a comment in the chat. Share the live stream details with all your friends if you think they would enjoy coming to kick it with us on Tuesday nights, because we sure would. Oh, John. Man. John, what's up, man?
Thank you, John.
Hey, appreciate that, John, because we sure would love to see the friends section grow from not a very high count tonight, Joe, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Hey, I wonder if Lon Guido is going to show up tonight, Joe. He left a comment on a video of mine and said, "Hey, when are you in that?" I don't know if I should say this because I think it's a bit of a derogatory cut down, Italian cut down. He called you I think it was a CHOOCH. Is that like is that kind of like a cut down for Italians?
A chooch? Say that again.
A
A chooch?
y-
I don't. It could be. I don't know.
I,
I've never heard of that.
I,
There's a couple other words that I could say, but I'm not going to say that.
But see,
Those words that in Italian.
I didn't know why he even cared when we were going to live stream again
I,
because I
I
didn't
don't
know
know.
if he really cared or if he just wanted to come on and make fun of us. Because remember, he was the one that called us idiots. So I asked him if he
He's
was going to come hang out with us idiots. And so,
he's
hey, Lon Guido, if you're in the chat, don't hide, don't snicker, behind closed doors. Come on, show yourself. Let us know if you're out there. All right, Joe. Enough of me.
all right.
On to you. What do you
So
got from history?
yeah, today in history, back in 1804. It says outraged over disparaging remarks that Alexander had allegedly made at a dinner party. Aaron Burr challenged him to a duel. And we all know what happened. Aaron Burr fatally shot Alexander Hamilton, and actually took place in Weehawken, New Jersey, which is in North Jersey, by like New York area. And I got actually another one since it's the MLB All Star Game, baseball All Star Game tonight. Back in 1914,
Is that
George.
tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight.
Yeah, I'm watching. I've got The Departed on TV, classic already.
That is a great movie. George Herman, Babe Ruth, played his first Major League Baseball game for none other than the Boston Red Sox.
The Great Bambino. Who is
Bino.
she? The soul.
When I hear George Herman Roof, I just think of Sandlot.
I mean, how can you not? How can you not?
What a great movie.
Joe, you went deep on those tonight.
Have you ever seen Hamilton, the musical?
No. Should
No.
I? Joe, I don't know how much
good.
faith our friends have in the chat of your selection on TV shows and music and movies here lately.
Well, then stick around for
Oh,
the top
shoot.
five.
Is it-
Oh shit.
Okay. So chooch is slang for dummy or idiot. So he just called you an idiot again. What? Come on, Lon Guido. You got to do better than that. You've already called us. Called us idiots. We need something a little more, demoralizing than a chooch. Come on.
It's okay. I've been called a lot worse by other YouTubers out there, so I'm good.
You probably called people a lot worse than
Yeah,
that.
probably too.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, all is fair in love and war. Hey, our sponsor tonight, Joe. I almost thought that he was going to withdraw his sponsorship of the Budget Wooder Show because we kind of put this one on the back burner from 2 weeks ago. If you didn't see Joe's State of the Lawn address with our sponsor, Jason Kelsey, gosh, y'all, you got to go back.
You love the local community.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch the whole thing. Go back 2 weeks ago and check that one out. But our sponsor tonight, I thought he was going to back out. Look, we have had, Joe, refresh my memory. We've had all sorts of sponsors from, what products have we been sponsored by?
We got cologne. We got
That was David Beckham.
sneakers.
Oh, my man, Harp. Harp coming in hot with the sneakers. Did you know Harper is like a K-Swiss expert? If
I had no clue.
Harper explores, I mean, that is my boy. He and I have this I don't know, man. He's a hypocrite, but I still love him. He's a hypocrite, but look, who am I to judge? Leave the judging to Harper. I mean, the hypocrite. But I love that guy. He knows shoes. He was our sponsor one night for some sneakers.
He knows lawn water too.
Oh, he does. I hope he fills that lawnmower up at the golf course before he leaves the cart barn. Or the equipment barn. I'd hate for him to get too far away and have to turn around and come back to fill her back up. I hope he's in the chat tonight. Harper, if you're there, that one's for you, big guy. I love you, buddy. Mean it. Okay, tell me about some of our other ones.
So Jason Kelsey was 2 weeks ago. My boy, go Birds. What else did we have? We had James Bond on.
There was something grass. What was it? Grass. We had grass.
There was a grass beer. There was a lager.
So we've had a lot of products. Some are consumables. And tonight's
gum. Mr. T had the gum.
Yes. Tonight's is another consumable. And this is one I might try. I have not really been interested in some of these other ones that have reached out to us as sponsors. But this one tonight, look, I don't drink sodas. I gave them up a long time ago when I was really into competitive running, and I just never came back to it. But I'm a sucker if you put one for free in front of me. And I would probably give this one a shot, Joe. Who's our sponsor tonight?
This is Marshawn Lynch, and I'm here so I just won't get fined.
Oh, that was a horrible impression.
If you've been following the show at all, you know Joe's
I'm here, so
impressions
I
are why
just
you
won't get
come.
fined.
Joe's impressions.
I can't do Marshawn Lynch, man. That was horrible. So this is called Grass Soda. So Marshawn Lynch, Beast Mode, is the Grass Soda spokesperson, and I found this really interesting. One of the reviews for this Grass Soda, it says, "Do not, I repeat, do not mix with vodka to make a weird mixed drink. It is the most vile thing I've ever tasted. It haunts my dreams." That was an actual review of this soda. So fair warning for everyone if you're going to try this. But Marshawn, apparently back in the day when he was eating the Skittles on the sideline, he used to take a little swig of this as well. He just wouldn't let it. He would go in that tent, the blue tent that they have on the sidelines. Yeah, he would go in there and go.
That explains it. That explains it all.
I know.
I might give this a shot.
I miss Marshawn, man. He was a heck of a player.
John is on the ball, or should I say on the bottle. He says, John, man, John, you're too good at this. John, would you please in the chat give some people some pointers on how to pick me out? Okay? If you don't know, Joe is very sneaky and likes to hide me in different places throughout different pictures throughout the show. So John's usually good at it. Super TA, where's Bill? Have we seen Bill tonight?
He messaged me earlier.
Ben was our winner last time. Every last show of the month, if you find me first, you win a $20 gift card to Lowe's or Home Depot, whichever one. We don't really give a rat's ass where you want to shop, but you find me first the last show of the month, and we'll send you an gift card to Lowe's or Home Depot. Hey, Joe, no one in the chat, I don't know, no one has even said a word about my new digs behind me. And might I say, Joe, your Phillies sign is bumping, man. It is buzzing. I like that, dude.
Good back
Dude,
there.
you've been killing it on those signs. You have been killing it.
I know. The old school Phillies is just so classic with the powder blue. That's my favorite jersey. I do like the Kelly green jerseys, like the one, the back in the day, Reggie White jerseys, but the Phillies, the powder blues, man, they are classic. So yeah, no, I love the signs. Actually, I have a confession to make. I have been going to Lowe's. I'm a Home Depot guy, but I've been going to Lowe's.
Yeah, but you went into Lowe's and you saw the light. It's so bright and it's so welcoming and clean looking, and Home Depot is so drab and dark and depressing.
It is.
And you get into Lowe's and you're like, I just want to shop. And then you just start going crazy. Yeah. Was that too much? That was probably too much.
That was a little too much.
Okay.
You need to simmer down.
I over-exaggerated just a little bit. Hey, but my sign, Joe, your sign looks good, but I want to tell people about my sign. A friend of mine, when we were on vacation last month, her and her family went on vacation with us, and she showed me one evening. She was like, "Hey, my cousin made this sign. Would you be interested in it?" And I was like, "Interested? Of course. I want to get that as soon as possible." So I reached out to him when we got back from Florida, and he just made this. He thought I needed a little extra pizzazz in the background of my videos, and made it on his own free will, on a whim, and was kind enough to give me this. And it's really turned out pretty freaking sweet. I've got a little remote control. I can change the colors of the back lighting in it, and very cool. Alan, thank you so much. He is a follower of the channel, a friend of ours, and a lawn fan. So appreciate you setting me up with this. I think it looks pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me. It was a little bit boring behind me for quite some time there. Hey, Joe,
yes.
Off of signs, okay? Off of signs, off of Marshawn. Marshawn, thank you for your Sport of the Budget Wooder show. We appreciate you. I'll have to get down to the gas station and get me a grass soda. Hey, I saw that looked like Grass Thief is in the chat tonight. Hey, Grass Thief, if you're in there tonight, raise your hand. We did not forget about you, but we're getting more and more of our friends submissions in, and we don't want to exhaust them all in one week in the event that we don't get one for the next week. So we saved yours for this week from before 4th of July. And if you're sitting there going, what the heck is he talking about? Send us your pictures of your lawn, people. Send us your pictures of your lawn, and we will show them right here on the Budget Wooder Show. Joe, how can they send them to us?
Yeah, so they can email to my budget lawn.
No S, my budget lawn.
My budget lawn at gmail.com. See, I got it right this time.
There you go. You're learning.
Or like a lot of people, they just DM me on Instagram. It's the same as my username as you see in the chat tonight. It's Wooder Boy Productions. my DMs are wide open. So that's how Grassfeed got. He sent his pictures to me. A lot of other guys have sent their pictures to me, and it's kind of good because we'll put your Instagram handle up here as well, so you can give the person a follow. And Grassfeed here is actually a Jersey guy. He's very close to me. Lives actually in the same town as me, and he actually has Bermuda.
He's got the old alpha grass all the way.
He's got
up there.
Bermuda grass in Jersey. I haven't seen it yet. He invited me over. We just the timing didn't work out correctly. So hopefully I can get over there sometime in the summer to check this out because it just looks.
I mean, look at
it.
It
looks really good. I mean, for Bermuda grass in Jersey, I mean that's just crazy.
Have you noticed? Crazy. I know you haven't been you've been kind of buried in your signs and haven't seen a whole lot of the lawn care stuff on YouTube and across social media here lately, but have you seen there's a lot of people switching over to Bermuda in the transition zone the further north you go. It's I think the word is getting out.
I know. I seen Ben the Lawn Guardian. He did his whole side of his house. He sprigged it with Bermuda.
Iron cutter Bermuda?
Iron cutter, yeah. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's just, I mean, honestly, his lawn looked really great before. I mean, I thought he was kind of nuts for even switching it over to Bermuda. But hey, I mean, if that's something that you like to do, go for it. Right?
Cam over at Elevated Lawnscapes, he did it at his pops' house, so that was cool. So that's two complete renos from cool season to iron cutter sprigs. So the word is out about Bermuda, and folks further north are trying to switch over as well.
I see George is in there. I'm waiting to see George do it. He likes doing experiments. I'm waiting. He'll be the next one.
So tell me, hey, grass leaf, by the way, that looks phenomenal.
Yeah, looks great.
I know the grass looks good, but I want to ask about the dog too. What you got there? You got a dog and a football. You're kind of speaking my language there. What's the pup's name and what breed? The grass is certainly.
I know he got his. I know he got his Bermuda at Tuckahoe Turf Farms, which is very big in my area. I've talked about them before. They supply a lot of major professional teams. The Eagles. The Eagles actually use their Bermuda to Tahoma 31. And they've been using it for the last couple seasons now. They've been using Bermuda, and which it looks great. If you've seen the Eagles field on TV, but yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome that he used a local sod farm, even though they might not sell to him now because it's so much in demand that I don't believe they're selling to the public right now. They're using it mostly for commercial uses. But yeah, I mean.
Looks awesome. So
it looks great.
So if you were to take let's just say you're gonna heave one out there and take a wild guess, how many people in your area around Jersey, Grassleaf's got it. I think you said one of your neighbors used to have zoysia. How many people there close to you are even give a warm season turf a shot that far north?
Like less than 5%, maybe not even. Like probably very less than 5%, maybe like 1 or 2% of people might have it. I mean, it's literally, it's mostly in our area. It's some sort of tall fescue, some sort of Kentucky bluegrass. The neighbors across the street from me, he's got zoysia grass, but it's very slow. I mean, it's not like it's you would think it would be very greened up this time of the year, and they actually have a company that treats it. Yeah, I mean, it would I don't know. I think,
I just
I
I
mean,
just can't imagine.
you got to be willing to put in the work. I think with the warm season in our area.
Yeah, I would imagine. Hey, Grassy, thanks for sending it in. Keep up the good work, man. It's really cool to get to see because I see a lot of these names in the comment sections of my videos and other people's videos. When you see their handle or username in the comment section, all you can really, you can't put I certainly can't put a face to the name, but now it's kind of cool to be able to put a lawn to the name. So appreciate you sending that in.
Go
And
give him a follow on Instagram if you're interested in checking out his. He's got a lot of cool other pics of his lawn, so go check it out.
very cool. And Joe, we got another one for tonight. We had three, but we're saving the third one for next week. So Joe, tell us who this was and what we got going on in this one. I think the other two were from Texas.
Yeah, so this guy actually he DM'd me on Instagram. Obviously, he actually DM'd me during the show the 2 weeks ago, and he sent me a couple of these pictures. And it's funny because his name here is Jed Wheelo Lights, and he actually does a lot of like lights like for Christmas. And I thought it was really cool because I have my pixel lights on my house, so we were actually talking back and forth about pixel lights and different controllers.
I think I remember that. Somebody in the chat was talking about their interest in lights, and there was a connection there. Was it back on the video where we showed some of your light setup?
I believe it. I believe it was. I don't think his name is. Oh, he's actually.
Hey, there we
the
go.
Chat. Yeah. I was
Cool.
gonna say
What's
his
up,
name.
Cole?
His name on the YouTube is not the same as Instagram, and that's why. But yeah, I think so. He's got Bermuda here, San Antonio. I think this was the guy that I emailed you or I messaged you that he asked about the Earthwise.
Oh yeah.
He was, I forget exactly what he was asking about the Earthwise, but you got right back to me about how like he would have no problem with it or something.
Yeah, looking at the pictures of the lawn now, yeah, dude, I'll give you a heads up. Using a manual reel mower, I mean, it's tough, especially when it's really hot out. It is a really heck of a workout. But with your lawn, especially the size of your front lawn, and then the back, won't be a problem at all. I used to mow 4,000 square feet with a manual push reel mower, and I mean, it was a hell of a workout, but
it doesn't
easily
look like a
doable.
super big yard,
No, hey, Cole, you just won over, I'm sure, not only mine, but Joe's respect, because we love the old, hey, especially on Paul Feinbaum. Hey, Paul, first time, long time listener, first time caller. Yeah. So if you saw what Cole said, hey, it's me, first time commenter. Thank you for your first time comment. If you're out there and you haven't commented before, come on, what the heck are you waiting on? Like, yeah, we don't, we don't have to hear your voice. Just type something. Let us know you're there.
Yeah, 26 people in the chat just say, hey, that's all.
Hey, yay, hey.
Hello.
Hey,
it's me.
Very cool, Cole. That's awesome, man. Looks good. If you did you end up? Let us know in the chat. Did you end up getting the Earthwise 7-blade? What are you mowing with? Let us know in the chat. It's looking good.
It looks like he did. He said, I just got my first cut in with the Earthwise, cut like a dream, kicked my butt in this 100-degree weather.
I missed that. Very cool. Hey, so I have not talked about this yet, Joe, but I guess this is as good a time as any to kind of let the cat out of the bag, since we're talking about the Earthwise with Cole. I had to part ways with my California trimmer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you get one last cut in with it?
No, man.
No?
Lots of people been asking me, hey, when are you going to get the California trimmer out? Well, I kind of hinted at it in my video yesterday that the Earthwise 7-blade manual reel mower will be my piece of equipment for mowing in the front yard since the renovation is complete. I'm going to take it down with the rotary mower first, but once I get it to where I want it, I'll be using the Earthwise manual reel mower because reality just finally set in. You've seen my backyard enough. I mean, I've got two major slopes on the side of the retaining wall. Behind the retaining wall, it's got a good angle at it, a good pitch. The front yard now, I've got slopes. It's not flat. I've got walls that I could fall off on. off of.
Yeah.
I don't have really long, flat, straight runs. It was just going to
It'd be
be way too cumbersome and too much of a chore to use such a heavy piece of machinery on such a small lawn. My front yard now is only like, we only use not even 3 pallets of sod. So I think it's probably only somewhere around 13 or 1400 square feet.
wow.
And in the backyard, with just the nature of its shape and slope and design, is just not suitable for power reel mowing. So the backyard will continue to be rotary mowed. The front yard will be mowed with the Earthwise manual reel, and the CT and I had to bid each other farewell. Farewell.
Going to a good
Jo-
home.
Joe said, or not Joe, George, don't feel bad, Travis. I parted ways with all my reel mowers too. Man, I'm telling you, I can't spit it out. George, that makes me feel a little bit better, actually. I'm going to be honest with you, too, because ever since I've been rotary mowing my backyard, since we moved in the new house, I've been loving it, man. I've been loving it. It has been so enjoyable. Like, it's every 4 days. It's easy. It's light. I don't kill myself trying to figure out how to maneuver a big old heavy lawnmower around a lawn that it's not suited for. So we're back to rotary mowing and manual reel mowing the front yard. That's it. That's my big news, Joe. Hey, George, why'd you get rid of yours? Just going back to the basics? Yeah, I'm finding that too. A good low cut rotary mower mow can look really nice as well. And that's our thumbnail for tonight. Keep it simple. A lot of times I've fallen into the traps as well over the past few years as real mowing and lawn care got way more involved and way more bougie than I ever thought it could be. I fell into those traps, and I find myself climbing out of them and getting back to the basics and keeping it simple the old-fashioned way. All right. Hey, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
For those of you wondering how I'm going to mow this new lawn, that's it. We're going to get to a look at that new lawn here in just a second. But Joe, let's look at yours. It's on fire, and you said you had something to tell me about that. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Here?
So what I meant by this was playing with fire this was yesterday morning, or no? Was this yesterday? No, did I send this to you today? I forget.
I think you sent it to me today.
Today. Oh yeah. So this was this morning. I cut it actually yesterday, Monday. So playing with fire. What I meant is I haven't put down a fungicide yet at all. I've been just keeping it mowed. I haven't been watering. I've maybe watered once in the last month with the sprinklers because we've just been getting so much rain that I haven't needed to put the sprinklers on. I have an in-ground irrigation system, and I just trying it like our thumbnail, keeping it simple. I'm trying to just do the minimum, if I can. I did put down Turf Titan products this past week, which they sent me to try out this year. They're a lawn culper and some other, I don't know, other drought defender or something. I don't know. But then I put down some more AMS because I saw a really great response from that a couple weeks ago when I put that down. But about this time, actually before this time last year, I had a fungus problem. 4th of July, it was bad. The lawn wasn't really looking that great at all. But this year, things are looking really great, and I just haven't really seen anything. No real cases. I know I'm playing with fire because it could, with this humidity and the weather, the way it's been with it being wet and the humidity being high. Like I could have a really bad fungus problem. I do have some, funguses that I have propiconazole, and I have azoxystrobin that I could spray if something does happen. But I'm just kind of trying to see what's going to happen.
What it'll tolerate.
I mean, it's supposed to be disease resistant, the Mountain View seed, and it's supposed to be drought tolerant. These cultivars that are in these things. So I'm kind of just seeing what's going to happen, and just mowing and letting Mother Nature kind of see what happens.
That's been look. I know Bermuda's a totally different animal than cool season grass, but that's been my mode of action for this is my 6th year in lawn care now. Just do the cultural practices, keep it simple, and see what happens. And we've talked about this before, Joe, and we even hit on it before we even started the show. It's amazing that when I peruse the lawn care videos across the social media platforms, really just here on YouTube, it seems like the ones that are doing everything are also the ones who also get everything. And by get everything, I mean get all the problems. They get all the insects, they get all the disease, they get all the fungus issues that they have done everything in their power to prevent, but they still get them.
George, I have no idea what that means. S-tier fertilizer. So I know I think it's a high salt index fertilizer, but I don't know. I saw a good response with it, so I did really low 0.2 pounds of the AMS. And
is that the one you and Bill were fighting for over it?
Yeah.
Where'd y'all go get them?
I haven't from a local mulch supplier. They have fertilizers in their store as well. They
Very
only
cool.
Bags left. Yeah.
Well, it looks good. Yesterday, and on my video, Joe and I were joking around. We kind of take jabs at all the things we poke at here on the show. We kind of do it in the comment sections of our videos as well. And he was joking with me. He said, well, I didn't think or know that he was joking with me, but he said he painted his lawn yesterday. And for a second there, I thought he was serious. But thank the Lord, he was just joking with me. He did not paint his lawn.
I did not.
Of course, when he
would know, believe me, when you paint, like the paint, it looks good, but you could tell there's something up with it. Like,
And in response to Joe telling me he painted his lawn, of course, I told him that I glued my sod down and painted it as well. So if you want the tips and tricks to a newly sodded lawn, just glue the stuff down, take that mulch and stone glue it down, and then paint it. And bada bing, bada boom, you're all set.
I actually got to do something with that Christmas tree that I have out front. I don't know if anybody in the chat has any experience with trimming like that kind of, like those kind of high shrubs like that.
You got to trim your bushes, Joe. Trim the bush. You
I am kind of nervous about it because it's
preventative maintenance, Joe.
I know it's very healthy. It's a very healthy Christmas tree, and it's been growing a lot the last couple of years, and I'm a little nervous, like trimming it and maintaining it. So I don't know. Well, if anybody's got any tips about that, I know Manscaped, they have great trimmers, but they're a little. It'll take me forever to do that.
Yeah. Well, Joe, the lawn looks good. Very, very well done. If it's as hot and humid as you say it is, no fungicides, none of that stuff. Sounds like you're using the creme de la creme. Is that how you say it? Fertilizer. So maybe you're onto something, Joe. You're using the top shelf stuff. We'll no well fertilizers from Joe. Only the finest top shelf liquors for Joe. Hey, Joe, I put my sod got put down in the front yard. It'll be 2 weeks this Thursday. I finally got the first mow in on it. It was put down on the hottest day of the year. And I won't exactly say that it was green when it got put down, but it was greener than it was 24 hours after it got put down. Heat index was like 110. Who knows how fresh the sod was, but nonetheless, I got sod put down almost 2 weeks ago. And today, I cut it for the first time because we had some cloud cover, a little bit cooler temperatures, and our heat index is supposed to be 110 tomorrow. So I wanted to get a cut in before it got too hot, and then I watered it. But from slightly green sod to brown within 24 hours, man, my friend, have we bounced back big time.
Damn.
In just the last week. I had somebody in my video yesterday said, you paid for that sod? Ouch. And it's like, come on, bro. It's Bermuda. Look, you could put one roll of Bermuda down on that front lawn, cut it up into smaller pieces, and if you know what you're doing, it might take a hell of a long time, but you could eventually get yourself a fully filled in lawn from one roll of Bermuda sod. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, you can, it'll spread. It does all the work for you. I think that's probably why a lot of folks are trying to find a way to switch over to Bermuda. It's really come back quite nicely. That is Tifway 419. My backyard is Tifway 419 from when the builder installed that. Joe, quit touching your microphone. Oh, you're cracking a beer. Go ahead, touch away, Joe. Touch your microphone. If you're opening a beer, you do you. My back lawn is Tifway 419. I almost put latitude 36 in the front yard because it faces north, and latitude 36 is supposed to be one of the better cultivars of Bermuda for fighting off spring dead spot, which I dealt with severely at my old house, also a north-facing home. But I went ahead and decided, let's just keep the whole yard Tifway 419, not to mention that front yard project got rather involved and kind of bigger than expected. So the Tifway 419...
wall!
The Tifway 419 saved me some money as well. So...
Ben,
look,
it's a catch basin. It's not a drink.
Grass is grass. Grass is grass. Adam, I'm not sure what the price difference is. Really, a lot of this was based off of the landscaper and where they source their sod. Because yes, I could have sourced it myself and done it all myself, but I did all the 8 yards of mulch, 2 tons of river rock. I did as much as I even possibly wanted to on that project. So to get the latitude 36 was going to be quite a bit more expensive because I was going to have to bring it in from over in Oklahoma. And Tifway 419 is just much more easily and readily available here in Northwest Arkansas than like Tahoma 31 or latitude 36. So we just went the easy route and kept the whole yard Tifway 419. But it's starting to look good. It's really bounced back nicely. It is kind of scary though, Joe, when you see that sod turn, almost completely brown within about 24 hours. But if you give it the water and it has the heat like Bermuda loves, it's gonna bounce back in no time, and that's what we saw here. I do have a few. You can see a little ends of a few of the rolls. I guess that's where the rolls were like rolled up, and maybe those flaps on the ends of the rolls just got a little too dry, a little too hot.
They cut sod up here until like pretty much almost Christmas. This Taco turf farm by me. They'll throw it down when it's cold and the ground's dormant and it's not growing. They throw it down because they know it'll fill in, in the springtime.
It's amazing. Like this sod likely wasn't cut within 24 hours. Perhaps it was, but it had to come from central Oklahoma somewhere, and so.
And it probably wasn't on a refrigerated truck.
No,
anything, right?
And they tell me they got Tifway 419 ready to lay, and I said, lay the sod down. So I took what I got, and if you got the confidence, if you have the little bit of know-how, you can make any Bermuda sod into a beautiful lawn. Last year when I did the project in the back lawn, I found some areas that needed a little extra loving, so I had been ripping out a bunch of sod from my side yard that I turned into mulch beds and had some scraps just laying in the back of my truck for like 2 days. And I went and grabbed some scraps out of my back lawn and just threw them in some of these rough areas around my backyard and just watered the heck out of them. And those things rooted, took, and it made it just fine. Sometimes it's so easy to overcomplicate these things that sometimes it'll prevent you from just testing new things out. But what did I stand to lose from going and grabbing a couple scraps of Bermuda out of the back of the truck, throwing them down on the ground and seeing if enough water would get them to come back to life? Sure enough, they did. And in these brown patches in some of these spots on the end of the rolls, they're going to come back as well. There's some green poking through here and there. It's just going to need a little extra time, but with this heat we've got coming, some rain chances this weekend, fingers crossed, we'll be in good shape before you know it. Hey, Joe, maybe we're seeing success in our lawns because we've either, read a few good things, 2, we've we've watched a few good YouTube videos, or D, ChatGPT just gave us all the answers we needed. And we did this back in, when did we do this, Joe? In spring?
Yeah, this was early on where we asked I forget what it was. We asked like what's the basics of like lawn care or
For cool
something
season, spring lawn
for
care,
cold
something it was.
season, yeah, and like or like what's the steps or something. I don't know.
So,
And
so here,
because you know me, I'm not a big soil test guy, and I was trying to prove to people that you really don't probably need one. And so I just drew up. I know it's kind of small for everybody at home, but if you're watching, maybe it'll be big. But I asked Chat GPT today since this AI, it's just a wave of this AI is everywhere now. And
I don't like it, Joe. I
I,
don't like it. I don't like it not one bit.
I asked, summer lawn care. I literally typed in summer lawn care in the Chat GPT, and this popped out: watering, mowing, fertilization, weed control. And what I really liked about these couple here, weed control, pest management, it was if you read it in detail, it says treat affected areas if necessary. And it didn't say you needed to do it like how like a lot of YouTubers out there saying, oh, you gotta get down this weed control, or or the weed control on here on Chat GPT says spot treat. So spot treat and not just blanket spray. But I think most of us do probably spot treat in a way. I know I have been doing that this year. But the pest control, keep an eye out. If you see grubs, chinch bugs, or armyworms, treat those effective areas if necessary. Let's just not just throw down a bunch of herbicide or pesticides in our lawn. So number 6 was aeration, shade, and protection. I didn't really understand that one, but avoid heavy use. Obviously, the grass is a little bit more brittle. Especially if it's going dormant. Be careful. Not stomping on it, or if you got like say a bouncy house for a birthday party or a pool, maybe not leave it out in the all day. Or leave it in the shaded area if you can. Irrigation efficiency. Obviously Travis's big watering acronym is diet, deep, infrequent,
Early,
early,
and use a tuna can.
tuna can, and monitor and adjust. So I just thought all these tips are pretty much what our thumbnail is essentially tonight.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Like
I'll say it again.
Mowing, fertilization.
Every time I see somebody online throwing the kitchen sink at their lawn, it's almost like doing those things results in them having the problems they're trying to prevent. Part of that too is they do those things because they're trying to sell you the products. I get it, but it just amazes me how, whoa, I've got fungus, so buy this. Like, keep it simple. This is it right here. Keep it simple.
Don't get me wrong. Like I had fungus in my lawn last year, so I went on domayown.com. I got the 2 different fertilizers, fungicides that I talked about earlier, Oxy and propiconazole, and they worked. It really did. But I didn't do it until after the fact, and you know what? The lawn bounced back, after spraying that stuff. But and then grubs. I actually at my sister's house this year, we've been using the Lawn Box products because they've been giving me the stuff the last couple of years to use, and actually we see really great results with the Lawn Box. It's an all organic fertilizer, and I asked her, do you want to do grub control? We didn't really see any grub damage from last year, where we did put down a grub control, or no, we didn't put one down last year. We didn't. No, yeah, we just did disease control last year in our lawn, and this year we haven't done any disease. We haven't done any grub control, and she's been good. And they don't really water as much as I do, and again, I haven't really been watering like I normally have been in the past, and she's been really good. So again, keep it simple. If you don't need something, don't put it down.
Save the moolah. Hey, I saw a couple comments, Joe, while you were going through the Chat GPT. Hey, if you're trying to reach me, it looked like somebody was trying to find a way to reach out to me aside from YouTube. mybudgetlawn@gmail.com. mybudgetlawn@gmail.com, or you can DM Joe on Instagram @Waterboy Productions is the way to catch him on Instagram. And hey, Mitch, Thanks, buddy. I was able to catch Mitch's comment a little bit further up. That is the whole idea behind all the changes I've made and effort I've put into my lawn, which ultimately has resulted in me not being able to reel mow, and aside from the slopes and hills and everything else. But I preach this all the time. If you would put just an ounce of your attention, an ounce of your effort into your landscaping, you will find that the grass just does not have to be the star of the show. And Mitch said up above, Joe, that the landscaping in the back and the front will make this lawn look better than any real mowed yard. And I completely agree, because it's the landscaping that really gives it the pop. It's like it's the main stage and the grass is kind of like the crowd below. If your landscaping's good, your lawn's going to be good. So appreciate that, Mitch. I'm glad you see the vision like I do. Hey, Joe, I know it's hot outside, and we do this. Well, hey, let's do this other one first, okay? I thought this was Joe's hot take for the week, but apparently it's not Joe's hot take for the week. He has a hot take coming up, and I might just have a hot take coming up as well. But Joe sent me this, and I thought it was, another thing that was grinding Joe's gears. But it is kind of mind-boggling how this stuff happens, Joe.
I don't get how this shit happens, to be honest.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So this was on a Facebook group that I'm in for my Thunder laser. So if you guys know, I make signs, and the Thunder, you can see the Thunder laser behind the wording there. And somebody posted this on there. I thought it was just hilarious. This fly is playing with death. And
it did pretty good on your YouTube channel.
So I just said, I gave credit to the guy. I said, like, hey, found this on the Facebook group and everything, and I posted it on TikTok, and it got 3.7 million views.
On your TikTok?
On my TikTok, got 3.7 million views, and it's just like the dumbest stuff. That's why I said always the stupid stuff, the stuff that you don't spend any time on. Putting content to create, together, like, all these transitions and these drone shots that these people have of their striped lawns and everything. And it's like, this is the dumb shit that gets views. And actually the guy that filmed this, that's talking in the background, he put this on Instagram, and it got over 70 million views on Instagram. 70 million. Isn't that crazy? Like it's
bizarre.
It's crazy.
For those of you that don't know, I teach my day job. I'm on summer vacation right now, but my day job is a teacher. I teach 6th and 7th graders in a media class how to shoot and edit video, write news stories. My background, education-wise, is in broadcasting. And they ask me all the time, Mr. Felder, why don't you do shorts? Why don't you do YouTube shorts? Blah, 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 blah. And kind of for this reason right here, Joe.
If you guys follow me, you know that I'm more of a shorts guy. I don't.
It's
feel like editing a video and doing this. It's easy for me to do it on my phone real quick and do the shorts.
It's no knock on the people that do them. I've said this before. I don't hate the player. I hate the game, but I see. I kind of have a bird's eye view of what TikTok and shorts are doing to, like, especially younger people, kids, middle schoolers, junior high kids, teenagers. And I just can't get myself, and this might be a very cynical way of looking at it, but I just cannot get myself to create content that it produces or results in mindless, worthless, lack of productivity, and waste of time scrolling through one short video after another. There's no value in those kinds of videos for me, so I don't find value in making them myself. Have I made some shorts? Sure. I usually make them to try to push people to my other longer videos, but I have found that people are either watching YouTube for shorts or for long form. there are very few people, a small portion of the population will watch both. And you kind of have to pick which side you're going to go on. And the thing is, when it comes to lawn care, you're not going to find a lot of kids or younger people watching lawn content unless you're doing the shorts, because they're all into that like oddly satisfying stuff. It really gives them no value as far as educational purposes or learning something new, solving a problem. It's just mindless scrolling that results in 9 times out of 10 laziness, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's my 2 cents on YouTube Shorts if you wanted them. But this kind of makes me think of that, because this serves zero purpose for anyone, but it goes viral, right?
No, I mean, I think it's just something stupid that obviously you get nothing from, but maybe a laugh. But I'm waiting for this to actually happen in my garage. I have a few flies that are freaking getting on my nerves while I'm out there cutting with the laser, and maybe I'll have my own 70 million view soon enough.
Yeah, my highest viewed video is only like 150,000. I don't get. What am I doing wrong? Maybe it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You get 70 million on a fly, and something that provides people valuable information to teach them how to take care of a lawn. You struggle to get respectable view counts. All right, Joe. This one, okay. It's time for your hot take, and you said you had. I'm really interested in this because I watch a lot of news. I'm like a journalism junkie. I like watching news. So most of my time spent on YouTube is watching news stories. So when you sent me this, it kind of piqued my interest, and you said you had some thoughts on it. So I don't want to wait any longer. What are your thoughts, Joe?
So this, all right. So if you want, you can pull me up too, so everyone can see me. So this is actually a picture of. It's called the Paco. It's a train that runs from Jersey into Philly, goes over the Ben Franklin Bridge, and then it goes underground. Once you get into Philly, there's about 4 or 5 stops, and then one of the stations you can get off and you can get onto the subway that goes down to Broad Street in Philly. So it was, I think, a Saturday or Sunday, a 4th of July weekend. Wawa's a big convenience store in our area. They sponsor a lot of stuff, free stuff, over the 4th of July weekend. And we figured, let's go into Philly. There's a big music center. It's called the Kimmel Music Center.
Did you take this picture, Joe?
I did not. I did,
Okay.
but this is kind of what I experienced with the crap that's on the ground and things like that. So again, we wanted to go to Kimmel Center. They were going to do like a couple different musical things for the kids to see, like a Lion King thing, Moulin Rouge. There was another, the Let It Go, like Frozen. They're going to have a couple different Broadway musicals come through the Kimmel Center throughout the fall season. And so we wanted to go, and we wanted to take the kids rather than us driving into the city, which again, I live about 20-25 minutes without traffic, maybe even quicker to get to Philly. My wife, she used to take this Paco train pretty much every day she worked in the city and off of Market Street in Philly. And she used to take this train every day. And actually, when I first met my wife, she lived in Philly, and I used to take the train to go see her just because the parking's easier. You don't have to find parking in the city. You can just take the train. So the kids, they were all excited about taking the train. We get to the station in Jersey, get on it. We go over, we get off, and it just reeked of piss and shit, like literally shit. I mean,
you needed a hazmat suit. Like these folks.
I didn't tell the kids, but we're walking, and I just look to my right, and I see this pile of what,
human feces,
and I was just so. It was so. Me and my wife, we've never seen it this bad before. I mean, like I said again, she used to take that train almost every day, and even when I was going to see her, it was not this bad at all. And there was just homeless left and right. There was this lady. She looked like she was almost in a hospital gown. And I
It's,
just
it, fentanyl's really bad.
it
Fentanyl's really bad in
it was
Philly right now, isn't it?
and it just I hate these sports athletes, especially in our area. Say how Philly, it's a blue collar town and this and that. It might be, but do better, Philly. That's why I put it up there. This is disgusting. I mean, clean, like you could see the piss pile. And when we got out and we walked up the steps and we got out underground, I mean, you can almost still smell it on us, just that
Talk
aroma.
about ruining your
And
two
just
kids'
it was just
excitement.
horrible. And then we're walking back from from doing what we were doing in the city, and you could just smell it. Like you could just smell that coming out of there. And I'm telling you, it literally was never this bad. I've been on this train I don't know how many times over the years, and it was just disgusting. And I so disappointed in the city, and just how they just I don't know how you solve. I mean, there's a obviously I don't think that we talk about it enough, but there is a big homelessness crisis in our country. If you look at San Francisco in
San
particular,
Fran,
I
Portland,
I
Philly's. I'm seeing people talk about San Francisco and other cities in the
I don't
chat.
know. I don't know how you solve it, but it was like we said to ourselves, this is the last time we ever take this train until they clean it up. And my wife's got you get like a little card, and you can put money on the card to take the train, and she's still got some money on that card. And because she's not working in Philly anymore, and I just it was bad. It was so just it it was just it was just
Joe,
undescribed. Yeah.
this hot take, I'm feeling a lot more of the disappointed, sad vibes, not so much
And they want to
the
and
angry
they
Joe
want to
vibes.
and they want to build the Sixers owner, who's an asshole, who owns like three
Now
different
we're getting Joe out. There we
he
go.
owns
There we
like
go.
he owns like almost four different franchises. He owns the Devils, the Sixers. I think he's going to own the Commanders if that sale, if it went through or did go through. They want to build a stadium in downtown Philly in Chinatown area, and they tried to do this once before. The Phillies were thinking about moving to downtown years ago before they built Citizens Bank Park. And I'm not going to take this train to go see a Sixers game. They're out of their mind.
Hey,
And honestly, it's
Pat, you out there? Pat, we need your.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Pat? Where's Pat? We need somebody like Pat, since he's a real Philly guy, Joe.
Yeah, he's a real. He knows. He probably don't take the train like we do, but yeah, it was bad. It was just not a. It was hot. It was just yeah. That's my hot take for tonight. Do better, Philly. You guys put the I-95. We talked about it.
What's the update on that? I haven't seen it in the media.
So
they got it open pretty quickly.
Yeah, they got it open. There's not as many lanes. It's the temporary fix, but to reopen it, this is how Philly fucking celebrates. They got a fire truck, and they stuck all the mascots on top of the fire truck and drive it over the portion. Like, no, fuck you guys. Like, clean up your fucking train stops.
Joe, do you have a okay? So now we're getting some of the
yeah, I got worked up.
The worked up angry Joe. We went from disappointed sad Joe to cursing mad Joe. So raise your hand in the chat if that's the kind of Joe you want to see every time he gives a hot take. That's the Joe we want. Joe. All right, what's your final word on this? Did we lose Joe? You there?
I'm here.
Don't lose me. Don't lose me. That's all because you're getting fired up.
I got angry.
You got angry. Okay. See, Joe, we got hands going up for the mad Joe, the angry Joe, the cursing Joe. That's what people want. Hey, give the people what they want, Joe. Okay. All right. Hey, Joe, look, this might not be what the people want. But that's why they're hot takes, okay? That's why they're hot takes.
Got to get it off our chest.
Hot takes are not necessarily meant to be received well by all. You might have a hot take that is received with some agreement from some folks, but major disagreement from others. But that's what hot takes are for, okay? And I want to tread lightly on this because it is a sensitive subject, and I don't want to and I hate this word because it's really hard to offend me, Joe, but I don't want to offend anyone. Um, but this is just something that is driving me crazy, okay? I've mentioned before, it's no secret that I don't do a whole lot of lawn care video watching on YouTube anymore. There's a select number of people that I watch, but I think I've pissed some people off over the last, I don't know, 8, 9 months that I've lost a lot of the old folks that used to watch all the time. But that's neither here nor there. But a word of caution, okay? This might offend some of you, but that is not my intent. I am merely expressing how this has led to me backing even further away from watching lawn care content. Are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready.
You know what a lot of lawn care videos have turned into, Joe? A lot of lawn care videos have, for some reason which I have yet to understand, have turned into like this new wave of modern age evangelicalism. Okay? I am not here to discredit or shame anyone for their religious beliefs. Hey, I have my own. I'm sure all of us have our own in some way, shape, or form. But when I get online to watch lawn care videos, I don't need 10 minutes of testimony. If that's something you're looking for in lawn care videos, more power to you. But I just want to talk about grass. I just want to listen to you talk about grass. I just want to hear you give some tips about lawn care. But I think the main reason this frustrates me more than anything is because back in the day when you had radio and then television, you had evangelists who found a way to profit substantially off the name of God. And they made lots of money and afforded themselves private jets and fancy cars and lavish homes. And now there are people, not just in lawn care on YouTube, but all across the platform that are just nothing more than the new age of evangelists that use their niche, their topic of lawn care, cars, whatever it is, as a guise to spread the word of God, in turn generate more subscribers and views, and rack up the big bucks in the name of God. Am I way off base on this, Joe, or have you noticed this a lot in lawn care videos over the last year or so?
I mean, I would say there's some. I mean, some of the people I just don't. I know that we've talked off air about this, and I mean, some of the people I don't just watch anymore. I mean, I just like I said, I did a whole what did I call it? A whole purge of, like, the lawn care content I've been watching, and I've kind of, like, you select a few that I've been following over the years that I really appreciate. George is one of them, who's in the chat tonight. Princess Cut. If you like lawn care content, he's got a lot of great lawn care content. He's not out to sell you either. So again, George is in the chat. His is Princess Cut Lawn Care. So shout out to George. Yeah, I mean, I don't know so much, I kind of agree and disagree with you, which is great that we can do that. And I don't know if they're trying to profit off of the beings, what you're saying, like off the word of God kind of thing.
Yeah, and maybe I'm stretching it to create a conversation a little bit more than there really is.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to maybe have a separate kind of channel.
Thank you. I wanted somebody to say that. I wanted you to say that.
And maybe, and I know, I think some of them have a separate channel to do that kind of stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're entitled to whatever you believe in, your religion, whatever, that's fine. You know, and again, that's the power of, you know, YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all these things. If there's something that you don't like, and I'm guilty of this, which I should have done early on, was if there's something that you don't like and you don't really care for this person, or if they're bothering you, just
Just don't
unsubscribe.
watch.
And I wish
And
I
that's
did
what
that
I've
early
had to
on. I
do.
wish I didn't watch anybody, and I just did my own thing, and just not worried about the comments as much, and just
But that's the
and
hard part because
that was my downfall to why I've kind of lost a lot of interest into this whole thing, because it just turns into a big drama fest. You get called names, you call people names because there's something that you don't like about them. Just don't watch it. And I wish I could do it all over again, and that's how I would have done it.
yeah, that's very sound advice, Joe. And sometimes the only way you figure those things out is is by learning the hard way. And again, I bring this up to spark a conversation. Not sure I'm probably
Yeah.
turning it into far more than it really is. But there are some of the creators out there that I really used to enjoy watching, but now it's a bit of a challenge to watch some of their content for those reasons because. Growing up Catholic and being born and raised Catholic, still in the Catholic Church, not quite as devout as I used to be. I should certainly try to find a way back on course, but I just was not raised to outwardly speak in public about my faith in the way that some of these people are on YouTube. So maybe there's a misunderstanding from my point, but it has found its way into lawn care nonetheless, and it's just not something that I very much relate with. So it's hard for me to enjoy my lawn care hobby on YouTube if I'm also having to listen to 10 minutes worth of
Hymns.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, that's right, Joe. There's my hot take. I don't know how hot it actually was, but it really
spicy.
It really came to my mind the other day, and it kind of resonates with something you just said, Joe. And I'm guilty of it too, getting in little squabbles with people in the comments section. Sometimes I've said it before, it's all in good fun. It's all ball busting. It's all, just dudes being dudes wanting to mess around. I mean, that's how I kind of see this whole lawn care community. I mean, at least mine. Like, I like working in the yard, like drinking cold beer, like, taking jabs at my buddies and letting them jab back at me and rolling with the punches. That's all part of the fun. But, my good old buddy, old pal that I talked about earlier, you got these people in the comments that are insulting you all the time. And then in the next comment on somebody else's channel, they're talking about how good God is. And those things just don't seem to jive in my world. I didn't know that that's the way it works, but apparently it does go that way. All right, Joe, that was my hot take. Your hot take is in the books. You know what? That is all the way through.
I think we need more Travis hot takes. If you guys think we need a couple more throughout the year, comment, because I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Different perspective. I know you're not genuinely that kind of person. That's I can't see you getting
riled up.
I could see you maybe a little bit, maybe like during a football game or something, like a Razorback game or
Here's the funny thing. I intentionally try to come across as riled up sometimes in the comment sections, especially with certain people, because it's all just like pushing the buttons to play the game and to keep them lurking around on the sidelines. But it's really, I've never had a temper. I don't get too worked up about a whole lot. Yeah, but sometimes here across YouTube, you kind of got to act that way with some folks to keep it spicy and entertaining.
Yeah.
George, we did it firsthand. George and I, it was more me, but was it not fun for a little bit, George? Come on, tell me it was fun for just a little bit. People were watching and people were talking and I was laughing. I'm sure other people were laughing. I thought it was kind of fun, maybe we'll find another target before too long, Joe, and go after them. I know you probably want nothing to do with that, but I'll see if I can rope you into it.
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure I will. All right, Joe. We said a couple weeks ago we were going to try to get these things back onto the hour long time frame because we had started creeping up into those hour 40s. And that's just a long time, y'all. That's a long time for us to be here, a long time for you to be here. And we hope that if you can't be here live, that you will at least have something manageable to come back and watch on the replay. But before we close out every show, don't leave yet. Harpo's Chicken and Waffles. Before we close out every show, Joe has his 5 with 5 to go.
So tonight we got either top 5.
This better be good, Joe.
All right, top 5 summer movies or top 5 sports movies.
Top 5 summer movies, top 5 sports movies. I know a lot of times when we start talking about sports, people will go, sports, blah, blah, blah. How about, okay, I see summer. Let's go summer.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay.
All right, summer movies. All right, so obviously we're kind of in the thick of summer at this point. So these are movies that take place somewhat in the summertime. I would say most of them, I think, take place in the summertime. So again, these are my top 5. So if you don't like them, you can screw off. But please come back next week. So coming in at number 5,
Joe, can I say one thing before you start, Joe?
No Miley Cyrus this week.
To be honest, I think the fact that you've done. Forgive me for this, but you've done so poorly at this in your topics and your picks. I think people almost kind of stick around to see if it could get any worse.
All right. Well,
I still love you, Joe. I still love you, but
all right. So
that's part of the jabs. Don't take it personal, Joe.
I know. So number 5, I'm coming strong out of the gate. Number 5 is Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay.
That movie's hilarious. Just the boat scene when he's in the boat with the 2 guys and he's just dragging off the back. I love that movie. Number 4 is Caddyshack.
Okay.
Golfing,
You're going classics on. Is this all? Are we all 5 going to be?
They're pretty much all classics. Yeah. Number 3 is The Goonies. I think
was that in the summer though? Because it was in the Pacific Northwest. It looked more fall-like to me.
I don't know. Like it was. They weren't. I don't think they were at school at the time. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But from what I remember of the movie, I don't remember them going to school or being in school. So
that's a good point.
Because that weather up there is a lot different than it is. Summertime up there might be a lot different than over here. I don't know. But anyway, The Goonies, classic movie. Number 2, easy one, The Sandlot. I mean, there's so many quotable things from The Sandlot. It's just, I try to watch it always every year around 4th of July.
Joe, just take a moment, pause, and read some of the comments, okay? I don't want to throw you off your roll, but I know you might not.
4 for 4. Ben saying I'm 3 for 3.
Yeah,
okay.
But you
all right.
You might not have liked my commentary leading up to your list.
That's all right.
But I think that's part of the allure of your 5 with 5. It's I know. What is Joe going to spit out next? I'm a very hateable guy.
All right, number 1 is probably probably not everyone's going to agree with this, but like it kind of pertains to my area, being close to the shore. Jaws, number 1. Summer movie.
Yeah.
But I don't care how old you are, it's still frightening. If you watch that movie, you go to the beach, and believe me, I've had some things, crabs, different things crawl around my feet in the day. Horseshoe crabs, seeing those things turned over on the beach and scare the shit out of you because you don't know what they are until you get up close. Jaws, hands down, number 1. Top 5 movie of all time. I did mention it. 2 weeks ago that Jaws actually is based off of shark attacks that happened in Jersey, believe it or not, in the early 1900s, where I think about like 4 or 5 different people died from shark attacks. So
Joe,
pretty interesting.
you have the approval of many folks in the chat. You've redeemed yourself. That was a solid top 5. My little brother's a creature of habit.
Thank God, because my sports ones, everyone would have fucking hated that.
Save that for next week.
Yeah.
My little brother, he has to watch Jaws on the 4th of July. I think he
Okay.
watches Independence Day on Memorial Day. No. What does he watch on? He watches something on Memorial Day, not Independence Day. But he watches It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve. You got to watch Scrooged around Christmas. Like he is all into those like seasonal type movies. If I were to add a couple to that, I'm a huge John Candy fan. So do you remember Summer Rental?
Yeah. John Candy. I miss him. He was funny, man. He was really good.
The Great Outdoors was pretty good. John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, if you like some of the older 80s movies. But Joe, it's hard to top that list. I would agree with all 5. So well done.
One person, what did they say? Super TA. Yeah. King crabs. I don't know what you're talking about. Back bays. Blue claw is what we see here. I don't know what he's talking about. King crabs like Alaska. The deadliest catch.
King crabs, Alaska. Y'all got blue crab off the East Coast, right?
We have blue claw. Yeah, over here off the East Coast. Yeah.
Very cool.
Actually 2 weeks. My family, we do like a crab fest every year. Different cousin hosts it, and we get a bunch of blue claw crabs, and we all feast on them. So
Gus Zielinski, the Kenosha Kickers. Harpo's Chicken and Waffles. Lots of John Candy fans in the chat. Hey,
yeah, John Candy was great.
Joe, we're riding high after your 5 with 5. Well done.
I know.
Let's give Joe a round of applause.
Thank you.
We're riding high, and as they say, it can only go downhill from here. You're on top, Joe. I don't want to take credit for that. You're on top at the end of this episode of the Budget Wooder Show. So, Joe, how do you want to send folks out this evening since you're on a roll?
So if you love the lawn care community, let me get a hell yeah. No.
Joe, be honest. How many times did you go back and watch that?
I watched it probably about 50 times.
My allergies are killing me.
I just love watching your reaction.
It was hard to because I was up by myself.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you gotta watch our last episode where Jason Kelsey gives the State of the Union lawn care community speech. Go check it out. There's time code, so if you want to skip to that, you can. But yeah, if you guys please smash the like button, it really does help out with the channel. Obviously, it's on Travis's channel.
The show. We're worried about the show here.
But yeah, if you can watch the replay, great. And please share it with everybody that you think would find this entertaining. It really does help with watch time. And again, we're here. We'll be here next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 Central, Budget Lawns channel, Budget Wooder Show. I had a good time tonight. It was great to be back.
Great show, man. Well done. Hey, I want to give props to Joe. Joe does a dang good job preparing for this and building graphics and sending them to me. All I do is do the thumbnails, schedule the stream, stack the show, but it's Joe that's putting the brains behind what we do here on the Budget Wooder Show. So major props to Joe. He might whiff on some of these 5 with 5s, but for the most part, he's hitting a home run. And Joe, I think somebody said that sports are boring, not gonna lie. So let's keep that in mind, because when you use Jason Kelsey and kind of marry sports with lawn care, that was another dinger right there. Hey George, appreciate that. All of you, I wish I could name you all one by one. Y'all are the best. That's why we do this every Tuesday. It's just a place to hang out, talk lawns, life, get to know each other, make new friends, and kick it. Joe, I got nothing else. Send them out on a high note. I'm done.
Yeah. See you next week, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.